You might think that little cardinal on your fence is just passing through, a fleeting visitor in a busy world. But what's actually happening is far more unusual than a simple search for food. You think you're just being generous on a Sunday morning, but the moment you filled that feeder for the second time, something shifted. You stopped being a neighbor, and you became infrastructure. You became part of the survival system of every bird that visits your yard. Maybe you've noticed it. A bird staring at you a little longer than it should. Or perhaps you've seen the same pair returning every single morning, appearing the exact second you step outside. Most people dismiss this as a coincidence. They think birds are simple creatures of habit, drifting wherever the wind takes them. But science tells a very different story, one that suggests you are now the center of a tiny, high-stakes universe. But what happens inside their bodies when they find your feeder? The answer is more physical than you'd expect. For a small bird, survival is a razor-thin margin. A black-capped chickadee in winter needs to consume roughly 35% of its body weight in food every single day just to maintain its metabolism and survive the night. When natural food is scarce, your feeder becomes the difference between a bird that makes it to spring and a bird that doesn't. Researchers at the Cornell Lab of Ornithology have documented measurable increases in fat reserves and muscle mass in birds with consistent access to feeders. Because of you, that cardinal isn't just full, it is physically stronger. A survivor in a world that usually doesn't show mercy. But it's not just their bodies that change. Their very sense of home begins to shrink. Naturally, a bird might patrol a vast territory, searching for hidden seeds. But when a reliable, high-calorie food source appears, the math changes. Studies show that birds with access to feeders contract their foraging range by 30 to 40%. Your yard becomes the anchor. They don't just visit your garden anymore. They live there because you are the reason it's worth defending. What's even stranger is what researchers noticed next. It turns out they aren't just watching the feeder. They are watching you. Birds process visual information faster than we can imagine. Research from the University of Cambridge shows that small songbirds are capable of associative learning that rivals some mammals. They recognize the sound of your back door latch, the scrape of the seed scoop, and even the specific jacket you wear. If you're late, they notice. Some species will actually use attention-seeking vocalizations because they've scheduled their entire day around your routine. But how does a bird that has never been to your yard know it's safe? The secret lies in a social reputation you didn't know you had. Information travels fast in the bird community. Through social learning, a new bird watches the calm behavior of your regulars. They see that your yard doesn't punish trust. Over years, your feeder doesn't just attract more birds. It builds a reputation. You have created a sanctuary where the wildness of nature meets the safety of a home. But there is a dark side to this bond, a point where trust turns into a life-or-death dependency. Everything we've talked about, stronger bodies, tighter territories, learned schedules, comes with a heavy price. For many of these birds, your feeder is no longer optional. It is load-bearing. A study tracking feeder-dependent populations found that when feeders were abruptly removed for more than 5 days, survival rates plummeted. The birds didn't just leave and find food elsewhere. Some of them stayed. They waited. They burned through fat reserves waiting for food that didn't come. And some of them died. Not because natural food was gone, but because they had reorganized their survival strategies around a resource that suddenly vanished. This is the silent responsibility of the daily feeder. You have become a partner in their survival. It's a strange thing, isn't it? That cardinal outside your window could be feeding at any of a dozen other feeders in a half-mile radius, yet it's at yours. That chickadee waiting 2 feet from your hand could be foraging in the deep woods, but it waits for you instead. These birds have made a choice. They have placed a level of trust in you that most people never fully appreciate. They are exhibiting synanthropy, adapting their wildness to live alongside you. So, the next time a bird lands nearby, don't immediately look away, because what appears random is anything but. You didn't mean to take on this responsibility, but the moment you started, you became part of their world, and they became a part of yours. Birds notice far more than we realize. The question is, do we notice them?